Welcome to Busted Speakers. I'm Kush,
And I'm Alex.
and today we're going to be reviewing Divide by Ed Sheeran. So Ed Sheeran is a pop musician from I think it's Ireland. I don't want to be wrong about this.
No, it's just England.
Just English? Okay, because I know he has some Irish folky influence on some of these songs, but uh,
Yeah.
he's from England, very popular all over the world now. He's made tons of hits that have reached the top of billboards all over the world. Uh, but personally, I've liked his voice, but I just felt like he's missing something. I feel like there's something that is just not there that I want from him, and I feel like that on this album too. There's something there that is missing because I feel he has a voice and he has decent instrumentation, but I feel like just the content of what he's singing about is the same in every song. Would you agree with that?
Okay, well, Ed Sheeran, yeah, I do agree on some level, but because the content on this seems to generally be about different romances and different stages they're at. Either if they're in the past, most of them, or current. That seems to be the main subject matter of these songs. Apart from one, which we'll go into in a second, but I've known about this guy since he first came on the music scene in 2011 with the A-Team, which I'd still call his best song. I mean, that song had great meaning to me because it's a singular, unique song about Class A drug users and deaths surrounding it. And I think Ed Sheeran works best when he has a slightly different subject matter at hand. So because of that, I think the best song on here is definitely Castle on the Hill. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think Castle on the Hill was my favorite. Alongside, there were two other ones
But
that I thought were were really good. I thought Happier was pretty decent, and I thought Supermarket Flowers was also decent. But I think
okay,
every other song was almost throwaway for me. But Castle on the Hill is the best because he talks about different things: death, divorce, abuse, things that hurt him and things that hurt other people. And it's not just about romance like every other song on this record is.
yeah, it's a good pop rock song that has a lot of elements that make it a good song that people don't realize that songs, if they have these elements, they become really, really good. Like, it's got the vocal harmonies in the pre-chorus at the, like, Found My Heart, Break It. There's some great backing vocals that just elevate this song to something great. It's got really nice nostalgic lyrics, which I think almost always work for me for some reason. Maybe because it evokes some similar memories in my mind, and it's got a really good melody. I mean, this is as close as we'll get to having another Van Morrison type song getting airplay in this day and age. I really like this, like to say, just because it evokes memories of my own childhood in a way. It's very similar experiences I've had in my childhood as he describes in this, which is, I think, why this was such a hit. I mean, it'd probably be a hit anyway because it's Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, of
You
course.
can make a song like Shape of You. You can make a song like Shape of You, which doesn't have that much meaning, and get number one actually higher than this one just because it's less to think about. But I feel like he's really emotionally invested in this song, and you can really hear it in his vocals. He goes really hard vocally towards the end of this. The only bit I don't like is the high pitched.
Yeah,
That
he,
bit.
he does that a
That
lot in
bit
a
is
lot of
like
songs.
unnecessary. But it's in this song at the end of the chorus, and he doesn't do it badly, but I just don't think it fits, and I think it's unnecessary.
I agree. I would agree with that. I think Castle on the Hill was one of the few redeeming songs that were actually memorable here. But
Yeah.
I compared him to like a store brand of Sun Kill Moon storytelling just because we had listened to Sun Kill Moon before then. Like I call him a store brand because he's trying to do the storytelling, but he's just not nearly as good as it at it. But
Yeah.
I think Shape of You is the other lead single, which I did not like at all. I thought that it was a cringy romance song where he's literally begging for this girl's attention, and it just like have like romantic songs are perfectly okay to sing about, and there are well done ones. Which my biggest problem is that this is pretty much as radio pandering as you can get for a song. It has electronic beats, it has
Yeah.
the catchy chorus, it has literally, it's a romance song that's about love. It's about as radio pandering as it can get, and I think just because
Yeah.
and it's not interesting in any relative way. I did not enjoy any sort of composition or anything like that. And lyrically, it's just like he says, "I'm in love with your body," which is the main hook of the song, and I'm like, but like you can say so many better things in so many more verbose and eloquent ways, as you do in a couple songs on here. But I mean, I guess that's what you do when you want to build up hype. You release a radio single like that.
This is exactly what I was thinking. I wrote this is a perfectly crafted song to pander to the masses, which is why I think it charted higher than Castle on the Hill, because that's more of a more of a less pandering, more natural sounding song. This just has the EDM feeling with the opening notes the whole way through. It is very catchy, no one's denying that, but none of the lyrics mean anything to me. I mean, this is the type of song I think only Ed Sheeran can get away with, like, because he seems cute and harmless type of guy. But if a rapper like Big Sean or Kanye West was saying, "I'm in love with the shape of you," it'd be considered, like, degrading to women. I mean, I guess it is, like, romantic in a sense, and it probably justifies itself, because there's a part where Ed's being, like, the woman, and she says, "Say, boy, let's not talk too much, grab on my waist and put that body on me." So I don't think she minds having that said to her, but man, like I said, there's just better ways to say something like this. The only thing that, like, has made me slightly like it more in the, like, 2 months or so that I've known this song is I saw him perform this at the Grammys, where Ed programmed the whole song himself from scratch. Like, he made a loop of the EDM like keyboard part and, like, the whole like, he made a little recording of that and to loop it from scratch, and that impressed me. That was quite unique. So it's not the worst type of pop, but it is very calculated, and it's not that good.
But I want to talk about some of the other songs I actually liked on here. I thought "Happier" was good because I think this one you actually felt his emotion, despite it being just like an acoustic, depressing song. Yes. I think he does that well. I mean, I don't want to say like he's good at being depressed or anything like that, but I think that is where his songs are highlighted the most. The other song was the closer, "Supermarket Flowers," and I wrote, my first note was, "Alex, it's a piano ballad, and he's gonna be fucking pissed."
No, we covered 4 songs, 5 albums this week, and 4 of them have piano as a prominent instrument. 4 of them. This is no joke. This is a legitimate trade secret that music producers must have said to, like, musicians, like, "Oh, okay, we're sequencing the album. You better have, like, a piano at the end, or they're not gonna like it." So I'm telling you, I'm onto something here.
So yeah, that I like that song because it is kind of generic, but towards the ending middle part of the song, there's a gospel-esque choir in the background, which really just adds a lot of depth. And I don't know, I just felt like, despite it being generic, it was a nice tune and it's kind of catchy that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I agree that it had a nice tune, but there is one lyric that is very lazy and he really could have prevented happening. And this is completely unintentional, but there's one lyric where he says, "You are an angel in the shape of my mum." Now, on the same album as the lyric, "I'm in love with the shape of you," I mean, that has worryingly unintentional connotations to me. Do you not think?
Yeah, I mean, I want to believe it's harmless just because Ed Sheeran's a harmless person. I feel like he is, but it's just a little weird in the placement of the song.
Yeah, and "Happier," right?
Yeah.
I did like it. I'm liking the atmosphere, but there's still a problem. The melody of this is, like, the same as "Stay With Me" by Sam Smith. I mean, it's not completely obvious, so you have to be really listening. But, okay, "Stay With Me" has 2 verses and then the chorus. Ed Sheeran seems to have a formula where he has a verse, and then a different melody for the pre-chorus, and then the chorus. So this has the same melody in the verse and the chorus as "Stay With Me." Exactly the same. But the way he sings is the exact same pace, and vocal inflections are the same. And I do like "Stay With Me" more than this, because I think Sam Smith is a better vocalist.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think it was
Yeah,
just
but he doesn't have the same problem Ed Sheeran does, which I'll get into very soon, which is my main problem with him. But
yeah. Go
you know,
ahead.
I still do like this one, kind of.
There's a couple
So
songs where I did see the Sam Smith influences. Supermarket Flowers was one of them.
yeah,
Paint. What do you call it? Happier? How Would You Feel? Which I did not like that song at all, but
yeah.
it was a little bit. I felt the influence. But I think the at most this was forgettable and generic. I don't think it was over. Like people were portraying it as like offensive, and they were like, "This is terrible," and this and that. I think it was just at most just generic and boring.
This can be looked at as offensive if you look for that. I mean, New Man is my least favorite,
I didn't like New Man at all.
and this okay. The problem with Ed Sheeran is he doesn't have a consistent personality on this album. You don't have to have that, but it does help when you're trying to generally portray yourself as a nice, harmless guy, as Ed Sheeran does, generally speaking. But he has songs where he's like being all tender and nice and romantic, and then he has songs like this, New Man, where he tries to add edge. And thinking about Happier, this is basically the same thing. Happier's talking about how his ex-girlfriend is happier with someone else, but Ed Sheeran isn't. This is the exact same thing, except Ed's being a complete douchebag to her new man, basically. But if you actually look at it, it's the exact same agenda that's going on. It's just that this is like how I feel Ed feels about people in his past interacting with him. Also, this is some really cringeworthy lyrics. Ed keeps saying he doesn't want to hear about her new man, but even if his ex-girlfriend tells Ed about the new man all the time, he talks about stuff in this song that how can he know about this? Like, he talks about the new man getting his arsehole bleached. How does he know about that?
Yeah, that was.
I mean, and
yeah.
like, this makes him feel like he's stalking around this new man, and he even says in this line, like, I'll be creeping a little. So I think it must be true. I just don't get this. I mean, songs like this just don't work in the Ed Sheeran vein. It just makes it seem like something he made up to try and seem cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's also evident on the first song, Eraser,
Yeah.
the hip hop
Eraser.
one.
I don't like his hip hop. He has a couple songs where he blends the lines of rap and pop, and I just did not enjoy those at all.
No.
But yeah, I think another song I didn't like was the Galloway Girl, which I know is a cover,
Oh god.
but I just thought that was
I don't
really,
know if it's a
really-
cover.
It is. It's a cover, and I think there's been tons of people who have covered it. It's like an Irish folk song, something like that. I just did not like.
If it's a cover, I think he like added lyrics to it, maybe.
Maybe, but I just did not like that at all. I thought it was weird. He was rapping, and then it also sounded like something a '90s boy band like NSYNC would have put out. That
Yeah.
one made me hurt a little bit, but there are a few redeeming
hate
qualities
that
of this
song.
album.
I like that he's trying to get traditional Irish instruments, which is probably what made you think he was Irish,
Yeah,
like
that-
a fiddle. But he raps on this, or maybe he's rapping the original lyrics, but that's what makes me think it might not fully be original. And it seems to be like he's trying to be the main singer-songwriter of the time, adding songs like this. But this just seems like he wants to be Van Morrison to me, but he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the skills or the melody. Well, he has good melodies, kind of, but this song's just too weird. It's trying to get too many loose elements together. It's too far-fetched for me to get along with it, basically.
yeah, I have to agree completely. Besides that, I think every other song is just forgettable or sleepy. Perfect was super sleepy. I did not enjoy that. And Perfect and Dive were almost the same song.
God.
I thought they were very
Yeah, I mean,
so
they're both
similar.
like slow ballads.
Now, one thing I have to say about this, he could have made this a little bit more interesting by making it a progression of his relationship. So starting off with like seeing the girl, then being in the relationship, then the relationship ending and his reaction. But it's kind of jumbled all over the place. Like I feel like he's trying to make a storyline about. I hope the same girl is what it is. But it just doesn't.
yeah.
It just he makes it much more unorganized than it needs to be. I feel like if you reorganize tracks, it would be a little bit more engaging because you could put similar tracks next to each other. You can see the progression of like he's happy at first, and then he gets kind of dreary and moody. Then he becomes more happy when he finally like gets over the girl. So I don't know. I was thinking that that was another problem about this album.
Yeah, it's just like he can write good lyrics. There's some good lyrics in Castle on the Hill, like talking about how it was really his old friends, like these people raised me into the person I am now. That has some real weight to it, because that's true, and probably true of a lot of us, that experiences where our friends made us who we are today more than, I don't know, parents or teachers, maybe, obviously not completely. But that he just has so many disposable crap lyrics. I mean,
Yeah, and
Perfect is a nice slow ballad, and it's a nice love song lyrically, but then he has I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. Up until the to carry love part, that was as I expected. But the carry children of our own line was just too much to believe. These are just unrealistic lyrics, and they're highly presumptuous. Oh, God. It's just a nicer way of conveying the message of Shape of You. He wants the same thing, basically.
yeah, I thought that at most it was just forgettable. I wasn't too offended by this album at all. I just thought I expected a little bit more from him because I think he has grown as an artist, but he didn't really put that out here. So, what would you rate it, Alex?
Yeah. I wasn't offended by this, but there were some parts where I just could not understand what he was trying to do. So I think Ed has it in him to make better music than this, because Castle on the Hill, Supermarket Flowers was okay. Some songs were okay. And every song on here had some good elements, like vocal melodies, and I think his playing in general was pretty good. But, every song here has some good elements apart from New Man. So I didn't truly hate this album. It was just confusing and seemed like he had split personality disorder. So I'm going to give it 5 out of 10, which probably seems a bit generous, but I don't know. I just think every song had something good about it, just not enough to outweigh the bad parts.
I would have to copy you word for word for what you said. I agree completely. I think every song, whether it was the guitar playing or his actual voice, had something going for it. The content was never really that great, but the other parts were decent. I have to give it a 5.5 just because I didn't hate every song and I didn't love every song. I just felt like it was pretty much as pandering pop music can get, which is okay, I guess, if that's the route he wants to go. But I think Ed Sheeran does have something more in him, something more engaging and interesting he can do. But I don't see it here right now.
Yeah, it'll take a few more years, which I don't think he actually has commercially, but we'll see.
Well, if that's it, then thanks for tuning in to Busted Speakers. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out some of our other videos, like and subscribe, and check us out on social media.